Hello, welcome Reds for an instant post-match reaction show. It's me, Jack from Anfield Road TV, Ricky from the 1892 Reds TV, and Niall from the Upper Tier Podcast. The links to both gentlemen's podcasts and channel links are in the description. But if you're for the audio listeners, please do check them out. Absolutely smashing it at the minute with all their content. Liverpool channels, of course. But gents and everyone listening, disappointing from my perspective. I went into this game hoping that we could leapfrog Manchester City by a couple of points, really. But get straight into it now. I come out of that game really disappointed. Before we come on air, I said City will be licking their lips, going laughing their heads off the back of winning the Club World Cup and going. I think we know these points, how pivotal these points can be, but I think off the back of the United performance and this one, it just feels like a real sucker punch for Liverpool, really, of points that really Liverpool should have capitalised on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you look at it with City being away at the World Club Cup thing, I think them coming back 7 points with a game in hand would look a lot better than 6 points on a game in hand, or 5 in our case, or whatever it is. So I think the big winners this weekend have definitely been with Villa drawn, both of us drawn as well. I think Man City are the big winners, so it's a little bit of a sickener. The one thing I would say is we do have an opportunity on Stephen's Day or Boxing Day for you guys to go top against Burnley and stuff like that. So we need to go out there and put on a performance against that. But yeah, it really is disappointing. And look, we know Arsenal are a good side, and we know they're going to be in and around the title picture and stuff like that. So we stood up to them, man for man. We matched them in every place. We also beat them in a lot of places and stuff like that. And I think only the first 10 minutes, we really kind of let them do their thing and stuff like that. But after that 10 minutes, they were nearly at times second to every ball at times and stuff like that. And how Trent doesn't put that chance away. It's just the keeper's going the opposite way and he just has to side foot it into the far corner. And it's just, I thought that was the moment. Once that didn't go in, I was saying this ain't going to happen. It's going to be a draw. But yeah, I have to say a big shout out as well. I don't know how Endo was a man of the match. Endo was brilliant today. I have to say. 100%. I thought he was unbelievable. And look, the fact that Saliba got man of the match says everything about how the game was. They were really, really worried at a lot of times. You could see Declan Rice and all talking to players at the times, not trying to calm them down and get them focused and stuff like that. We absolutely had them on the rocks at times. And I know we gave up one or two little sort of breakaways and stuff like that as well. I thought Joe came on coming into a game like that under those conditions as well. And I thought he did okay. Yeah, I thought he handled Saka well. I don't want to hear this whole Trent Martinelli thing ever again. Absolutely skilled today, Martinelli was. Never in the game. Ball took off multiple times. But yeah, we'll get in talking about plenty of other stuff as well once we get into it. But yeah, disappointing not to get the 3 points.
Yeah, Ricky, I think we got to go straight into it because the whole of social media world, every Liverpool fan coming out of Anfield today, as you can see, for the audio listeners, a picture of the penalty incident, Odegaard. I done my live stream. I think everyone around the world instantaneously, we all probably asked ourselves, how's that ball manoeuvred away from the feet of Mohamed Salah? But as you can see for everyone that's watching it visually on Facebook and YouTube, that didn't need 2 or 3 replays, Rick, to give that as a penalty. But yet again, obviously, as Niles alluded to, let's give Arsenal the flowers for the first half performance. I think they schooled Liverpool on a lot of occasions. It felt like a training session for the first 20, 30 minutes by Arsenal, that they were just passing around Liverpool's penalty area with a lot of ease. And it was quite scary, in all honesty, because of how easy it was. But Rick, straight into that penalty decision. Penalty for you? I'm guessing we're all shouting penalty. But yet again, VAR or the referees and the standard of English football really on the floor.
Shambolic decision. How they come to the conclusion it weren't a penalty is beyond me. The official line is he slipped. He was going towards the floor. His hand's got to go somewhere. Okay, well his hand ain't got to touch the ball or move forward. His arm made a forward movement. It's not like he's put his arm out the side to balance himself. The hands move towards the ball and not the ball out of the way. It was the quickest check I've ever seen. You didn't even see a replay of it till half time, I think.
It was one of them, Ricky, we were saying before we come on here. There was that game that we played away from home a couple of weeks ago where the quarterback for the penalty and give it, and it was checked. I was anticipating that. I was hoping that the commentators on the game would have went, yeah, it's getting checked, penalty. And if that was the case, the referee just blew his whistle, whoever had the ball, and signaled to a penalty, mate. But yeah, you're spot on there, Rick. It's disappointing, but absolutely shambles. And chat, if you're wanting to jump in and out, obviously, I will add you in anyway and get your say, or get as many people in as possible. But obviously, Niall and Rick will be the main channel host this evening as well. So we will add you in, but we'll give you a couple of minutes really to have your say. But Rick, straight into that one, penalty decision. Your thoughts on the first half performance, Rick, from Liverpool? As I said, we give Arsenal their flowers for the opening 25-30 minutes, but did you want more? I expected more. I think that Anfield crowd expected more. A game in this magnitude, of course, Arsenal are a very good side, but you anticipate Liverpool to turn up and grab that game by the scruff of the neck. We've got enough quality in this team to do so.
Yeah, Klopp and everyone's been moaning about the atmosphere in recent games. The atmosphere was banging today. It's a pity the boys didn't replicate that at the start of the game. Yeah, I thought it was. We started how we've started all season, slow. And if I'm being honest, I did think we would lose today. I said on the pre-match with Luke that I think I did give us a 3-1 scoreline with Adam on, but that was just to try and banter Adam on there and yeah, get a reaction out of him. But I was worried today, and early signs at the start of the game did look like we could have been in for a long day, but I think after they scored early, I think the crowd went up another level. Certain players again ghosting in the big games. I don't.
Diaz and Gakpo weren't good enough again, mate.
Listen,
like it's
El Chapo on left wing needs to be sold in the summer.
Well, he might be injured, mate. I'll tell you what. Now he was holding his knee today. He come off due to an injury, and obviously he's already had surgery, Lucho, twice in his Liverpool career so far about that injury. It's not good enough. Don't know too much on the ball. Too much.
We took a Darwin Núñez who had a decent midweek against West Ham. We took him out the 11 and we put Lucho in on left wing and offered absolutely zilch. Cody Gakpo, I believe the only reason Liverpool signed Cody Gakpo was it was a deal too good to pass up on for the price.
Yeah, it was.
Considering in today's market. Because where does he play? What is Cody Gakpo's position?
Well,
He's not a striker.
His best position now, would you say, he's down that left-hand flank, but we are utilising
we spoke about the front line and how unbalanced it is. We've got one on the right and we've got 5 on the left. And we don't have a 9. Yeah. We absolutely don't have a 9 at the club. I think, in fairness to Cody, with Luis Diaz, absolutely. I thought he should have been hooked at half time. I think, Rick, you would have probably thought the same, maybe even earlier. But he has been coasting. There's no doubt about it. He hasn't been there. I don't think that'll be a massive injury, to be honest. I think it was just an impact injury. It was kind of knee on knee or on chin. So he should be okay. I don't think they'll be anything too serious, and that's just a bit of soreness and stuff like that. But absolutely right. Sitting Núñez down. I had Núñez in my starting 11 on my preview. Absolutely. I had Curtis in there as well, who I thought did well. I think the problem with Gakpo as well is I think at times he was a little bit isolated when we tried at times to do the press, and it was a little bit disjointed. And Arsenal just kind of played past him. They just passed him, and the game just went by him a little bit and stuff like that. I don't think it was necessarily down to his own poor play and stuff like that. I think he just couldn't get hold of the game. At times he was just a little bit isolated and stuff like that. But again, you're putting him into the centre. You're playing him as a 9. He's not a 9. And the gaffers.
I was going to say, that's what we missed, though, isn't it? Like, I think Gakpo's done that a couple of times today, but not enough, really, for Liverpool. You want him to bring that ball down and bring the likes of Sabuz. Like, you've seen it in the second half. He's done it a couple of occasions, and then, surprise, Dom was getting into the game. Trent was getting a bit more of the game. But I think, would you say both teams now are guilty of not having enough quality through the middle? Because you look at that, I think off the back of that, I think us as neutrals, when we analyse Arsenal's game over the last 12 months, they haven't got quite a Thierry Henry or someone, just a clinical finisher. I tell you, if they had a 20-30 goal a season attacking forward, they'd be winning a league title by a country mile, mate, for me.
Yeah, I think we've said about both teams. If you look at Arsenal and you look at Liverpool, the parallels between them are very similar insofar as it's points over performance all season, really. I mean, you could count on less than half a hand, really, the performances that have been put in by both teams. Yet they're getting points on the board. They find themselves in this position in the table. But we haven't been playing well. You look at Mo Salah today, and not getting in on Mo Salah. We all love Mo Salah, of course, but look at Mo Salah today, bar the goal. I mean, his distribution is crap. His close control is crap. His holding up of the play is crap. Like, he was really, really poor today, you know, and it's just, you know, bar the goal. And of course, goals are so important. There's no doubt about it. But if you look at the match over the full 90 minutes and the production of what's there, at times the passing was terrible. At times he found himself isolated as well. But again, you see us trying to play these balls through channels, through the eye of needles, and they just run out of play. And, you know, silly little things like that and all. You look at Kanate for the goal, he was absolutely shocking. I don't know what he was doing. As soon as he lost Gabriel, he was like this with his hand and all waving. What are you doing? Like, that's amateur hour, you know what I mean? And I get it that they deploy the training ground thing with the blockers and all that kind of stuff and all. But we have to look, the size of Ibu, he has to be much better than that, you know? And again, Allison in no man's land, I don't know whether he was in 2 months about coming or going or what he was doing, but it was a good goal that they got, and it kicked them on a little bit for about 10-15 minutes. We were kind of a little bit under the cosh, but we really were our own enemy today in terms of our passing and stuff like that. At times, you seen Dominic in the second half when he picked up that ball and passed it straight to an Arsenal player. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. We have to be so better in those moments and stuff like that. Now, I think today, as I said to you earlier, I think Endo was absolutely fabulous today. He was everywhere. He was chasing down. He was one of the midfielders we had. He's the shortest guy probably on the pitch, and he was winning all the headers. It's crazy, like, you know. And then we've other players out there who won't even challenge for a header. When's the last time you see Mo Salah with a high ball coming in, challenging for a header? He stands back and just lets it all unfold in front of him and stuff like that, you know. Really disappointing. Gravenberch came on. What did Gravenberch do when he came on? Absolutely weak as Nats Piddle. Absolutely terrible, you know what I mean? Just couldn't do a thing, you know what I mean?
Curtis Jones should have stayed on.
Soft.
Curtis Jones to me should have stayed on there.
Now should have been dragged off. I thought he was shocking.
He grew into the game second half though, Ricky. I think hence why with Gakpo trying to bring him in, but obviously that doesn't compensate for the 45-minute wasting by.
It's another big game. It's another big game from Szoboszlai that he's ghosted.
Yeah, but
like, we see him. We see him try and shoot from range in games all the time. There was one instance where he bombed forward with the ball, had so much space. Why is it? I keep saying this. Why has Mo Salah got to touch the ball on every attack we have? Just have a shot, man. Like, you've got to
not only Ricky attack the ball, but not only touch the ball, but touch the ball multiple times. Pull the trigger on it. Szoboszlai on the edge of the 18-yard box today on 3 occasions and didn't pull the trigger. You know what I mean? And we know he has it in him. Just look at the West Ham game. So we know he can. We know he can do it. And just kind of like, just at times, I don't know what it is. I don't know. For me, the way that's gone and the way it's so repetitive and the way so many players are doing it, it has to be a coaching instruction. It has to be a coaching instruction, because otherwise they'd be letting fly. Just so frustrating, you know. And and I suppose it's a measure of where we are as well. We are in a rebuild. It's a brand new midfield, you know. And if you look, people are talking about injuries at the moment. Look at our injury list. It's pretty impressive, you know what I mean? So
we'll have a section.
One's on Jurgen Klopp, though, isn't it? Jurgen Klopp absolutely killed these guys.
But I was like, Saka, mate. I used to like him, mate. But after I don't know if you lads seen the interview post match. He was like, yeah. I've heard he's gone in the hospital, so I hope he's okay. I was like, fuck off, Salah.
There's a lot of that these days in football, though, isn't there? That late forearm and over barriers and stuff like that. There's a lot of it. Yeah,
there's a malicious intent to seriously injure a player there. Like, obviously, he couldn't have coincided the collision with Klopp, but he knew exactly what he was doing, Saka. And for me, that should have been he should have been sent off, especially for that slip as well in the second half.
No. Someone was telling me you were getting off your stream.
No.
I'm with Ricky on this one. I would thought it was harsh, because when you go back and look at it, when he slipped, he kind of went across the side of him as well.
Yeah,
that one's a stretch. That one is a stretch.
Yeah, like the Arsenal slip in the penalty area by Odegaard there.
That's definitely not a stretch. But the Saka one would be a stretch. And here, listen, I've no reason to come on here and stick up for Saka.
It would have been me and Jaeger on that touchline going.
Yeah.
Well, I was very close to running on the pitch at Anfield to abandon the
You were
screen.
lucky, Jack. The ref didn't book you. You were calling for so many cards on that stream. I was worried about Mo actually, but Mo was losing it over his booking.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
Oh, yeah.
they're only after a red card and a guy for
Right.
complaining, earlier in the week or whatever it was. And I was there going, Mo, calm down and just walk off. It's only a yellow. It's not really
I'd be
going to
like
affect
Mo.
you.
All of us would be like Mo. That no one wasn't even a foul. He got in front of the Arsenal player. Like, it's a ridiculous decision. But Liverpool, as we'd say, chat, obviously everyone listening as well, the last 20 minutes, we had a control of the game. But as the lads have already alluded to, I think that goes to show the inexperience currently within this Liverpool squad. The last 10 minutes, Arsenal were very clever, and have they learned from the last 12 months? Potentially, we'll find out come at the end of May. But we'll get to a couple of everyone's comments as well. So the audio listeners, then I'll have a little look through all the YouTube and Facebook comments as well. Big up there, Tom. Lights out performance, well, and trench chants were forever haunters. I thought the second half we could have been a bit better. Final third sloppy, but a point is a point. Poor call not to give the pen on Zinchenko as well. Big evening there, Matthias. Hope you're well, mates. Panov saying hello to the panel. We can't be too disappointed. We played an informed, good team and got a point. We haven't been great for weeks, but we are still up there. True, Panov. I think once I certainly sleep on it, I'll speak to you.
I think from Panov's point of view, the fear for us, it's not necessarily Arsenal, it's Man City behind us. It's not actually Arsenal, you know what I mean? And when you think of it in that context, then it's disappointing, So
5-on-1. Yeah, and we'll get to that trend little. There was
Dave, happy Christmas.
Yeah, big up there, Dave. Happy Christmas, mate, to you. Thank you for jumping in, mate. Gary, how are we, mate? Gary Richards in the comments tonight. Liverpool were the better side second half. Endo Canate were rocks. Klopp just tell Starwin to score goals, son. Yeah, and I think that's the performance level from all of us. We want to be seeing more. Like that Gravenberch performance as an impact sub was probably one of the worst I've seen in Liverpool shirt in the last 20 years. Like he come on and lost the ball, as Niall said, about 50 times, it felt like. And when you've got players impacting a game, it just stops the flow, Niall, doesn't it?
And not the first time. Not the first time he's done that either. Lads, tell us this. How much were you up off your seat when Joe Gomez had that chance in the box? How much where I thought he was going to burst the net and I was going to absolutely lose it. I'd still be running around the town here if he had scored. My God.
It's
and I was so hopeful. I was going, Joe Gomez. And it was so close, so close.
A Joey goal was coming. The amount of chances
there is a goal coming in there, Ricky. There's definitely a goal coming.
And I'm hoping it's an absolute banger as well, not just like a tap.
Give it a couple of months. Come April time? Joe Gomez 40 yards from goal, twats one from top corner.
Yeah, hopefully he does it just to show Nunes, Gakpo, and Diaz how to shoot properly. Because
I reckon he's going to get one like Curtis the other night, where he'll have to ghost through everyone, and everyone will go, "What the hell is going on here?" They won't expect that, and he'll just tap it in or something like that. But if Joe Gomez scores, did you see Klopp afterwards? After that, Klopp was going, he so wanted him to score. It was unbelievable. The whole crowd. It was just. There's definitely a Ricky Wright. There's a Gomez goal coming this season, and God help the team that drops it as well. Can you imagine? That would be.
The best bit would be a Gomez 30-yard screamer at the Etihad in a 95th minute winner. That's what we want. Or headed or sorted. And we'd all go a bit wild. But back to the comments as well. Matthias, we need to think ahead now. We could beat Arsenal, and from now on, we are getting weaker. Simicus out for how knows long. And that was what I was saying. It's a broken collarbone. Like Saka, you've injured a professional footballer. At the time, you might have not have meant it. My ass, mate. You clearly knew what you were doing.
Well, Jess is tweeted, didn't he?
Yeah,
they suspect it's a broken collarbone.
Yeah, no, it is a broken collarbone. So that's disappointing. But one of Liverpool's star performers, as the lads have just alluded to, Joe Gomez, I think was very unlucky to have not started this evening. I think all of us, every Liverpool fan knows he's been easily in our top 3 performers of this season. I think it's a performance from Gomez this year. Not always being in the team, but when he has come in, he's always performed really, and that's what you want from Gomez. If Carlsberg did handballs, that's from Dave anyway in the comments. From Philip Bidwell in the comments on YouTube, Gomez did well, did better than all right when he come on, and Endo was absolutely brilliant today as well, 100% there, mate. Big up there, Jamie Phillips, Football Chats. Big up, Jay. You're very welcome to pop on for a couple of minutes, mate, if you are free. I know you're probably doing a show now, mate, but happy Christmas to you, mate, as well. Props to Arsenal, but could have beaten them. Also, the team is raising a lot of questions. Latest from the Premier League has been it's one of them, mate. Swings and roundabouts. Yes, we can question the decisions, but that's when you know you've not performed well. I've spoke to these lads on plenty of post matches and spoke to you chat. You want to be seeing your performance ideally. Fair enough, like today, it was disappointing performance, but we want to be seeing this Liverpool team playing in every quality, and I don't want to be complaining, giving out to referees. That's when you know you've played not your best. Panov, he battered the ball away. FFS. Why are we trying? They are trying to kid. Who are they trying to kid? 100% there, Panov. He's playing volleyball in the penalty area there. Matthias, I wasn't a big fan of Bendo when he arrived, but the lads has proven me wrong. But when Endo and Salah leaves, we really look at the bare bone in our squad. Rick, that's a great comments on this as well. It's a great point, Matthias, and we've spoken about this. Liverpool have got to be extremely careful in that period because we've spoke about 4 drop points here off the back of the United game and the games this evening. The league title can very much, I know we're only Christmas time, but leagues can be very much won and lost in a matter of a 5-week period. How well do you think Liverpool will deal with the absence of both of those players?
They won't. The injuries we've got as well. So you've got no left back till the end of January.
2 left back
coming back then.
Yeah,
I think Robertson will be back by end of January. Hopefully McAllister's not too far away because Endo go. I think they both go after the Newcastle game the day after. Yeah. If I'm Liverpool, FSG, Klopp, Kenny Dalglish, Ian Rush, I'm sitting down with Mo Salah and be like, listen, lad, we're a year ahead of schedule. We're going for the league title.
I think FSG are trying to hack into there, lads.
Off. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. Yeah, good news. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I'd be like, just forget about. Can you forget about AFCON? You're not going to win it. Let's be realistic. Egypt are not winning it. We're fighting for the title. Just stay. Like, we're going to lose him. Endo. Diaz could be out for a period, depending if that knee injury is serious. Costas is out. Matip's out for the season. Jota, you'll probably get 3 games out of if you're lucky. Then he's injured again. So it's going to be worrying. Like it's who knows where we're at.
It will show clear intent as well now where Liverpool's aspirations, not just for this January period, but as a football club, the way strategically I'd like to see we put £100 million bid in for Caicedo less than 6 months ago, or less than 3 months ago. Sorry, for Caicedo. So the money's there, available at the football club. Come at the end of January, we've been here. Every Liverpool fan's been here under FSG's ownership. We might put out all the signals to go out and play, but as Ricky's alluded to, a lot of players there, a lot of quality players missing. And for me and for you and everyone on the panel and everyone listening, want to be seeing Liverpool in the best possible opportunity. I want to be Liverpool in January. Go out there, go out and show clear intent. Even if you get one big player for 60, 80 million pounds, go out there and do the business because the money's there at the football club.
Yeah, I think I read a story there yesterday, I think, coming out from one of the journalists close to the club and stuff like that. And he was saying that it doesn't look like Liverpool have any intention of going into the market in January, which is really, really worrying. Now, obviously, that might change now with Costas, with the collarbone injury now. And that looks like that could be the end of his season because look how long Robbo's been out and stuff like that. So he could be done. We may not see him again. And even with Robbo coming back mid to late January and stuff like that, how up to speed is he going to be at that stage? He's been out for 2, 3, 4 months, whatever it is, this stage, you know what I mean? So it is worrying. I think it's an opportunity. I think we should be going out buying a really top level world class, either left back or left sided centre back. And I think we should be really doing that to show an intent. And I actually think even with Endo improving game on game and stuff like that, if he's going to be gone and stuff like that, McAllister's not really the answer. I don't like McAllister in the 6. He's an 8, and I don't think he would have moved to us if he had been sold the deal that he was going to be playing in the 6, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I think he should be playing the 8. What we lose from him not being in the 8 is too much. So I still think we need to go out and actually buy a top level number 6, a Palhinha or whoever it is, to show that kind of intent. We know Arsenal are probably going to wrap up Ivan Toney, so the goals are probably going to start coming for them, where they've been struggling somewhat. So they will show. City will definitely go into the market. There's no doubt Pep has
they'll be spending
key
money.
areas, so they're going to spend money. They've got plenty of money there. I think in the summer they were on a positive situation with the players they sold from the academy for big money and all that kind of stuff. So they'll definitely bring in reinforcements. He's not happy with what's transpired over the last couple of months. I think Newcastle will probably go into the market as well. I think they're falling short at the moment. They're starting to crack. But we've so much stuff coming on at the moment. Carabao Cup, Europa League, FA Cup, the league. There's so much going on there. We are way short. Way short. And to be honest with you, we're only an Alisson or a Virgil van Dijk or a Mo Salah going off the AFCON away from our season coming unstuck big time. And I don't know. I'd like someone to tell me what the answer is to Mo Salah going to the AFCON. He will definitely go, Ricky. There's no talking him out of that. He is extremely proud of Egypt and being that captain and that focal point and all that. He's not going to give up the AFCON for that. But I think I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what you guys think. But if Mo goes, what's going to go in there? Is Harvey going to be the answer?
Yeah,
are they going to take Dominic out of midfield and put him in there? Is he going to be the answer? Because he kind of plays a little bit like that for Hungary. I don't know. I'd be very concerned if he's just going to, just stick with what he has. And now all that coming out could be all a kind of ruse to dampen things down, because we don't talk a lot about transfers. We tend to just do them, especially in January. But yeah, they're gonna have to figure out what they want to do. But this lack of moving players around into different positions and stuff like that to try and make do with what you have. We're either seriously trying to win this league. It's nowhere near good enough. And I think we need to really, really up it at the moment. And let's see what happens.
That's spot on, mate. And that's up to the fans, us as fans on social media, and just not accepting second as a trophy at the end of the day. I think Liverpool Football Club demands expectations, and we have done for the last 130 years. We know, as Shankly said, second wins you nothing. Second best team on Merseyside is Liverpool's reserves. And it's that history that Bob and Bale and Jurgen at this moment in time, it's very evident when you give Jurgen Klopp a full squad full of quality, he will win you the league title. But certainly I think to answer Niall's question there is who's going to be playing down that right hand side. It will be Harvey Elliott. I think today we've very much seen what will be happening for those little games. Obviously Elliott, he made that desired impact when he did come on. Obviously a shot just narrowly going wide off the back. I think it was Gabriel, one of the centre halves, but he had that impact again. But I think it will be Harvey Elliott down that right hand side. Just quickly get to all your comments as well, and then we'll get into the second half and some of the stuff that happens anyway. Big up there, Charlie. How are we, mate? Hello, lads. Just got back from the game. Endo man in a match for him. I'm really losing faith in Diaz and Nunes, boys. Yeah, we've spoken about. I think we'll do something about that in the next couple of days anyway. It's a big talking point, and rightly so. But Charlie, safe travels back home, mate, anyway. And obviously gutted for you and gutted for all of us that we couldn't get the 3 points. But luckily, we're only in Christmas and there's plenty of games to come. And to really get things back on track, really, for Liverpool. They've just from Matthias on YouTube, and they leave already right after the Newcastle game. Yeah, just as the lads have mentioned, Diaz needs to be sold. Man, this from Jamie. Not good enough. Never has been. Fair play, mate. And I think so. A lot. I'd agree with you that on that, mate. I think we just unless we see a drastic improvements and he starts chipping in with goals and assists, but he's not even doing that at this moment in time. What 1 goal in 40? That's 1 goal in 15 games. That's not good enough for a Liverpool left winger.
Probably doesn't help either that your old man is talking about Barcelona all the time and everything. After having his near-death experience, being kidnapped and stuff like that and all, you know what I mean? And I don't know. Maybe his head is elsewhere or something like that. But he's so weak at the moment. You look at him in there, he just doesn't fancy it all. And actually, he only went in for 1 or 2 challenges today when he actually knew he was being absolutely laughed at, and then he kind of got a little bit stuck in and wanted to have a go. But for a South American American who that South American blood should be coursing through his veins. He should want to kill people and stuff like that, literally, you know.
Yeah.
And he's out there and he's just being soft off it all the time, like, you know what I mean? It's so easy. I fancy myself to take the ball off him at this stage. And I've no ball skill at all. Like,
you can drift like that at other clubs. Obviously, we're all patient. We'll give players time, but Diaz has had a year and a half or 2 years at Liverpool Football Club now. Yes, he's had injuries, but for me, I've not, quite frankly, seen enough from Diaz at this moment in time. You might be able to do that at certain clubs like Tottenham and Newcastle's, where like you come in, have a little good 6 months here and there, and then your career does drift. But there's, at this moment in time, so lads have already alluded to, at this moment in time, just doesn't really offer enough, frankly, at Liverpool Football Club. You need a goal. You're either a goal scoring winger or you're a contributor to the team. Because the thing with Núñez, he's contributing with assists, chipping in with goals as well. Diaz, as the lads have said, not good enough, and that's the expectation level that we want to be seeing. But as Jamie said, Ouattara will be a bigger miss than Salah. Endo was immense, but yeah. That's it's true though. But big up there, chat. Apart from the goal, it's from Charlie. But the goal Salah's been poor. Jones controlled the game with ease. Ricky, it's a great point by Charlie. I mentioned it before. Why did Klopp bring him off? I was complex at the time.
Maybe because he's another player that's made of cheese string, and he did play midweek.
Full game,
played a full game midweek. Potentially be tired. Maybe Klopp thought that by bringing on Gravenberch a bit more energy in midfield that Arsenal are tired, and that absolutely did not happen because he was awful when he come on. I thought he was going to take Szoboszlai off, but I think the injury to Diaz made him keep Szoboszlai on. And take Jones off instead. But normally 99% out of 100 this season, Klopp subs have made a massive impact. Today they never. Harvey Elliott was probably the best one that come on. Núñez was not supplied, and Arsenal had a lot of the ball when we made our subs. I think we had a 15-minute period before the subs come on where we were absolutely dominating, and
that's where the Trent opportunity comes.
Harry, listen, don't get me started how he missed that. I think it's tragic how he missed that.
I think there's too many Liverpool players running on the end of that. Like, I think there's literally, if I'm a Liverpool player, one of those four down that right-hand side. The thing I was watching on the other replay, Núñez was battling with Gabriel or one of the Arsenal players on the left.
Saliba. Like, fair play to Saliba.
I was good defending because Saliba knew exactly if Diaz is on that right-hand side, he's the attacker. He's done extremely well and great defender by Saliba. But I think if Núñez was on the right, I think he would have scored that goal easy.
I do think the pass was a second too late though. I think he could have passed earlier and we might have been in a bit.
And it wasn't even the best of deliveries to him, mate. It was bouncing.
It would have allowed Trent. Yeah, it would have allowed Trent to take a touch, get it out from his feet, then hit it. But
we can't dress that one up anyway at all. It was a simple side foot into the far corner. So Raya was flying the other way. Raya was flying the opposite way. All he had to do was side foot it back into the opposite corner. And we had to go. And instead he's going to burst it off the bar, basically, you know. But that's just kind of what's happening with us at the moment, isn't it? There's a kind of a lack of confidence in that final third, and we're absolutely trying to burst the net at times when we should be just placing it. Like if you look at Salah's goal the other night against West Ham when he broke through and he just dinks him, you know, he just sends him the wrong way and slides the ball in. Doesn't have to burst the net, you know. As you said, if Salah was on that, or if Darwin was on it, he probably would have hit the new stand. Let's not get into that.
Would have ended up in my back garden, that one.
Yeah, probably would have bursted off the bar and skulled someone in the new stand or something like that. You know, God knows what would have happened. But it's just frustrating. I don't know. Did you see that stat the other day, lads, on the midfield? How the midfield this year has matched output of the midfield last year from 26 games to 56 games. Already. They've already matched it. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something like 26 goal contributions already from the midfield. And I wonder if that performance in the midfield is kind of masking our concerns up front or something like that,
Mm.
because it's like nearly this season and last season is the opposite. Last season we had no midfield, we were so reliant on up front, and this season our midfield's performing really, really well, and up front we're really stuttering at times. So I wonder, is it just kind of trying to find that balance? But yeah, it was an interesting stat. I picked up on it yesterday, and it was an interesting one to read. Yeah,
Great one.
Forget going to get a 6. We need to go get a striker in the summer, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be one of them. One for debate as well. I've had debates with Ricky quite regularly on the off camera about Nunes and what we can get. But I know us three will do a show post Christmas anyway. There'll be plenty of shows from both lads on their channels as well. Gary, love your optimism, mate. Too many bevies today. Too much optimism today, really. But that's what it is. It's what part of being Liverpool, and that's the target, Ricky, for every Liverpool fan. We want to be aiming for the league. We don't want to be aiming for second or third. And I already know what's going to probably transpire. I think all of us do. It gets past February, March, and we fizzle off. We go 10 points behind City and go Klopp and everyone, all the pundits and everyone go, oh, Liverpool were ahead. But let's not pass up this great opportunity this season. We're ahead of City currently as it stands, but let's not let this slip. Rick, we're in a position now where a couple of months' time, I don't want to be hearing, it's a young side, Liverpool could have done better here and there. And that harps back onto the January debate we just had. We're here now. We are living the moments. Go out there and perform and show what it means to perform and play for Liverpool Football Club.
I do think like I said earlier, I do think we're a year ahead of schedule. Because no one knew this midfield was going to kick off straight from the start. Joe as quick as it did. Endo turned into a little superstar. I've been his biggest critic this season, but fair play to him. Last couple of games, he's turned into a bit of a warrior for us, really. I do think we fall short this season.
Yeah, sorry, Derek. Panov's never coming back, Thiago.
Thiago's
never coming back, Thiago. Who is he? He's on 200 grand a week. Easiest job in the world.
All I see is him smiling, walking into training, but he never trains.
He's good for the media eye candy, and so there we go. That's one of them.
But yeah, I do think we fall short this season, but I do think we get Champions League, which is what the aim was at the start of the season. But who knows, if we go spend some money in January, if Costas is out for the rest of the season, I'd like to go activate that Inacio's release clause at Sporting. He's a left-sided centre-back who can play left-back as well. Go get it done. Because ideally, you've got to look at the long-term replacement for Van Dijk. And if you can get him now in Inacio, why not?
I just don't want us, and you're spot on there, Rick, and for others, don't want to be seeing Quansah getting ran into a brick wall. The lad's a young lad, and if he's needed this season and he plays, 20 games on the bounce, we'll probably lever him as well, like we have done with previous players. I think McAllister's been a huge miss today, and I think it showed evidently against Manchester United, but it's going to be one of them lads. I think when we wake up tomorrow, probably certainly me, I'm very disappointed. I think all of us are. We wanted 3 points today, but as is football Reds as well. Thankfully, there's a long, long way to go in this league title. It's setting up to be, I'll tell you, on the same amount of points as Villa. Them dropping points. Yeah, it's going to be one of them, Reds. But quickly round off the last couple of comments as well. Charlie saying he's agreeing with Niall in the comments. We get it right. We get the right signs in... Apologies, everyone. We get the right signings in January. We can go on and win a few competitions. Defo, 100% there, Charlie. What Niall said was spot on. Liverpool need to be more aggressive. This from Gary in defending set pieces. I'll let obviously Niall come into that in a little second. But Gary's mentioned as well, 4-4-2 might be the system in some games. Salah and Starwin running at defenders would be great. I'd like to see Salah a bit more central, but we'll find out. It was a great game of football. Big up there, Rock. It was, mate. Even if you watch that as a neutral, certainly going to be one of them. I've only just noticed, chat. Why have I done that? Yeah, it's I've put 0-0. Why have you lads not mentioned that? The graphics, you can tell I've had a couple of bevies. For anyone watching this on the repeat, the game didn't finish 0-0. It was 1-1. Yeah, it felt like a 0-0. But But now to conclude, mate, and obviously what Gary said there in relation to the lack of aggression in the attack and third for Liverpool. Let us know, miss.
Yeah, I think sometimes with set pieces and stuff like that, we mention it on the previews all the time. There's a general nervousness around the box when we give away free kicks or corners and stuff like that. But we've got giants in there that can go in there and mark, the likes of Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, Kanate when he's fit, Kwanzaa. Seen Kwanzaa the other night. I know that the Jared Bowen goal and stuff like that, but he was excellent all game, bar that one mistake. And as a kid, that's gonna happen. But like we're normally pretty strong in defense. Virgil has looked really good this season. He seems to be clearing everything at times and stuff like that. But we know with Kanate at times, he just has that defensive stupidity in him or something like that, where he's big player who acts real small for some reason and stuff like that. Like he shouldn't be letting what happened today happen. He should be right in that and stuff like that and on it. And I just think at times it's just a nervousness because we have been giving away goals from set pieces. So I think that nervousness just ratchets up at times, But yeah, we should be much, much stronger on them and stuff like that. There's very few forward lines, or there's very few teams in the league that are going to come in on a set piece or on a corner and physically out physicality us, if you like, in terms of before the piece happens. I think we can match them up greatly. I mean, Virgil, as I said, he's been excellent this season, but I just think Joel at times I'd be more confident if he was in there more so than Kanate. Yeah. I just get concerned. I think Ricky, you mentioned it on the show before. Kanate's handling of people and the pushing, and did you see that woman? He was down on the wing. Who was it? Was it Martinelli or who broke through? And like he just shoves him on the ground, and the ref calls a free kick, and you're looking at him going, "What are you even complaining about this? You just shoved the guy straight onto the ground, And it's just he just seems at times to be all hands for a guy who's so big and should be able to muscle people. He's always into people's backs or shoving into people. He's always so handy with people at times. And he's given referees at times a decision to make. And I think it's from his own point of view as well, coming back in, he's lacking a little bit of confidence as well, because you look at Virgil is so confident now. You see him clearing headers, moving the ball around, his distribution of the ball as well. How many times did he try to hit Salah today with those crossfield balls that we normally see and all? So that's when Virgil is really, really confident, when he's trying those things that he hasn't been trying for nearly the guts of a year. Because his own confidence was a little bit shot. But yeah, I just think with us sometimes it's a mentality thing, because at times we've just been coughing up goals, and it's a lack of confidence,
Yeah, 100%, mate. And I think going into this, I think just the statistics were off the back of this game. Arsenal had scored joint with Everton, the most set pieces goals in the Premier League so far. I think joint level with 11. So backs up exactly what Niles just said there. Spot on, mate. Disappointing, but we go again, Reds, as we always do. Go into the Boxing Day fixture in 2 days' time. A win, need to win, especially off the back of these two results now as well. And if anyone is tuning in, the game did finish 1-1, not 0-0. I've had an absolute nightmare, but too many bevies, as you can tell. Better get off the seat. But big up there now. Please do shout out, mate, where everyone can find you, mate. And have you got any shows coming out this evening or this week?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the Upper Tier Podcast. And we're out there everywhere. We're on all the socials. We're also the audio shows of Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. We're on TikTok. It's the Upper Tier Podcast at gmail.com if you want to contact us in any way. The Shankly Sessions is where you'll find all the Liverpool stuff in that playlist. That's where we do all the Liverpool content. No major shows coming up. Wednesday I have a show. We do pro wrestling as well. So we have a pro wrestling show on Wednesday. Probably try and squeeze in a preview somehow for the Burnley game. Might be just a recorded show. See what happens, because obviously it's busy and it's Christmas time and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's where you'll find us. Up the Reds. Hopefully we'll be top of the league come Boxing Day night or Stevens' Day night for us over here in Ireland.
Happy days, mate. A very Merry Christmas to you, mate, as well, and everyone.
And you.
And everyone listening as well. Ricky, massive thank you yet again for coming on, mate. And I hope you have a good Christmas. And everyone listening as well. Please do shout out where everyone can find you, please, miss.
Yeah, it's the 1892 Reds TV on the socials as well. I think we're back Boxing Day. I think we'll do a show before the game kicks off. A little preview then, because obviously it's Christmas and that, and I can't be asked to do anything before that. So, catch us then on the road to 1,000 subs. Taking its time, but we'll get there. And yeah, have a nice Christmas. Stay safe. eat an extra slice of cake and have an extra beer. And
Before we go, lads, it's best bits about this holiday period. A cheese board. It's got to be up there as well. Anyone listening?
I don't
You
do
don't
that.
like
Yeah.
cheese boards?
No, I'm big into cheese board. Yeah.
Oh, I love a
Yeah,
cheese
yeah.
board. Ricky's
Yeah.
oh, we haven't words with
cheese
you.
Cheesecake.
board.
I'll have cheesecake dessert. A load of cheesecake, mate, for dessert. That's the
Oh.
one.
Oh, Ricky, you want to try the cheese board, man? It's
Oh.
crazy.
Not really. Yeah, not really a fan of cheese though. Not
You're
really
not,
a
lad.
fan.
It doesn't
No,
look like
no,
that.
And you know, when myself and Jack can talk cheese board, me
Yeah,
and Jack ain't posh in any way. Like
Yeah.
we just like cheese board.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
cheese boards are
Yeah,
lovely. Yeah,
so
they're really
audio
nice.
listeners, let us know your best selection of cheese board. As you can tell from these chubby cheeks, I have a lot of cheese in our household. That and the pigs in blankets. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There's scraps over the dinner table with that in our household. But, chat, if I don't see you or we don't see any of us, have a lovely Christmas as well, everyone listening or watching. Look after yourselves, as I said. Sod the presents, not really about this holiday period. It's about being there with your family and friends and the people most special to you, spending the time as you can do as much as possible. So Reds, as the lads have said, hopefully a win against Burnley on Boxing Day will suffice and we go top, which would be great. But until then, we're second in the league and not too bad, is it? Can do better, but up the Reds. Reds, look after yourself. Have a Merry Christmas from me, Niall, and Ricky, and everyone watching. Look after yourselves. You're allowed to spoil yourself. Eat as much as you want. And enjoy the cheese board as well. See you later, Reds.